Hello, hello, people of the internet. I'm Iffy Wisdom, and I'm here in my studio. This is part 2 of a series where we're remaking my first song that I ever completed and uploaded to SoundCloud. It's 6 years old now, and I've learned a lot as a producer, and I'd like to take that knowledge and put it to the test and see what we can come up with to reimagine Skip to the Beats. So, as a refresher, here's what Skip to the Beats sounded like in 2016. We'll play a snippet of it, and then we'll jump in and get started. So that's Skip to the Beats from 2016, the first verse. If you would like to hear the whole song, the link to the SoundCloud is down below. So here I've got the session loaded up in FL Studio, and there's a couple things I want to tackle today. Now, in part 1, linked below, there was a part where I said that I wanted to get rid of the MIDI guitar altogether. Well, I was wrong. It is articulated and humanized. It's not processed at all. It's literally just a dry guitar. So we're going to add some processing to it in the way of Guitar Rig. I'll be using Guitar Rig to add an amp simulator to it and some effects, and hopefully create a dreamy sort of space for the song to take place in. And so that I don't waste your time, instead of scrolling through hundreds of presets until I find the right one, I went ahead and found the preset. So this is the one we're going with, and this is the first step in the remake, I guess. We'll just turn that on, and I'll let you hear that. Well, here's what it sounds like again. And the chorus sounds like this, dry. So check this out. I turn on Guitar Rig and my EQ, which cuts out a little bit of the low end. Instant vibes. Okay, so that makes me happy with the guitar. It sits a little louder in the mix, but I think it's okay. Next, we want to tackle adding bass to the track. Now, I thought about it a lot, and right now, until we add more layers like synths and stuff, I only feel the bass belongs in one place, and that's the chorus. So we're going to add bass to the chorus by going into pattern 7 here. This is what pattern 7 sounds like on its own. And what we're going to do is take this right here, which are the bass notes, and we're going to copy them over to the bass that I've chosen, which is BX Oberhausen. It's pretty awesome. I love it. but guess what? My computer hates it. So I am not going to play the synth live. Unfortunately, my CPU only likes waves of it. So this is what the song sounds like after you add bass to the chorus. I'm going to cue it up 2 bars before the chorus so you can feel the bass come in. I think that gives it the most impact because it's still a very soft bass. Here's what that sounds like. I like it. And I like it symbolically because, if anything, love definitely has a hum to it. And it adds a low hum to the track. And if you've been in love, you know that feeling I'm talking about where your whole body just feels like it's crackling with electricity at thought of someone else's touch or something like that. So the idea of bringing the bass in for this chorus where you're singing about how this person makes your heart skip a beat and that you thank God that you met them, you know, like I think it's cool to add that bass in as that hum of electricity that one feels when one is in love. And that takes care of the bass layer. There wasn't any before. And just like that, we had the bass layer because we had the bass notes in the guitar already there. And one quick way to write a bass line, if ever you're short on ideas, or like me, you just want to get it done quick, you follow the chords, right? And that's what we've done here, is we're following the chords of the song. Now, the reason I don't feel the bass really belongs in the verse is because right now the verse is really one chord, just modulated. It's a D major chord modulated down to a D sus2. And so because of that, the best bass note to use would be a D all the way through, and that would be kind of boring with this bass, and it wouldn't make the chorus as impactful if you had the bass running throughout the whole thing, especially since this song only oscillates between 2 notes. You've got to use new instruments and new octaves and new voices for your chords when you're only working with 2 chords. And so that'll be something to keep in mind as we move to part 3 of this video, where we add some synth layers and stuff like that to the song. Finally, we're going to go to the master channel, and I'll show you my plans for mastering the track. So you saw I have Paz Analyzer here. That's letting me keep an eye on the mix. The first thing I want to do is I want to cut out any unnecessary low end. And I'm going to do that twice. I'm going to do it up here, and I'm going to do it down here, because DAW cassette and Ozone 9 are both capable of adding in more low end. I'm going to cut it before it even gets to them, and then I'm going to cut it again afterwards just to make sure that it's gone. Next, we add a compressor. Now you'll notice it's a really strong compressor, but it's not all the way wet. So it's just kicking down and leveling things out a little bit, gluing everything together. And then for some extra vibes, I added this tape emulation called DAW cassette. It gives a nice little cassette tape kind of hiss to the track. And there's a little bit of warble introduced. Here's what the track sounds like without, and all of the other mastering turned on. last moment, I added ozone back in. And I'm using the modern pop preset, which dips the lows a little bit, cuts out some mud around 500 to 600 hertz. And then around, what is that, around 2K? Around 2K, you start to get a little spike in presence and air at the top of the track. Imager is separating just a little bit, just giving it a little bit extra stereo width. Maximizer is sort of boosting the levels. It was a little too aggressive for me when I first turned on the modern pop preset, so I had to adjust it and bring the ceiling down to -1 because it was just too loud. And DAW cassette, you'll notice when I turn it off, DAW cassette is softening the edges of the whole track. It's making everything a little bit gauzy, which I thought was cool because, again, love has that warm, fuzzy feeling that can feel like you're wrapped in gauze and swaddled or whatever. Trying to be symbolic, I guess. Don't know if it works, but I like the sound of it. So here's what we have with mastering turned off. This is what it sounded like before. So there you have it. We've achieved basically everything on my to-do list that I wanted to do for today's studio session fairly quickly. That was fun. We added some guitar with, we've added some guitar processing so that the guitar sits in a nice dreamy space with some sparkles and shimmers that to me sort of captures that intimate feeling of lovey-doveyness. We've added some bass to the chorus section where we're really talking about that feeling of love. And I feel like it gives it this electric hum, sort of like that electricity you feel through your body when you are in love and that person touches you or you're thinking about their touch, you know? So I hope that was communicated by adding that soft bass that just adds a little bit of a hum to it. We mastered the track, which was really important. It sort of glued everything together, brought the levels up just a little bit, and then in mastering, we added that DAW cassette plugin, the tape saturation, which softens the edges just a little bit and adds to that dreamy sort of vibe that I'm going for. There's more work to be done, though. But what we got today, I would almost be willing to call the 2022 remix. And I am going to render out what we worked on today, put it in the description below so that you can hear the 2022 remix in its entirety. And if you would like to participate in the remake, just jump in the comments below after you listen to that and tell me what you think I should add or change, or if I should redo something, or if I should stop making music because I suck, you know, like say whatever you want. Just jump in the comments and let me know. All right. So for the next video, we're going to add some more synth layers. We're going to add some arpeggios or some guitar. I'm not sure which yet, but something to the interlude so that it's not just the guitar riff. You know, like that's fine, but I think it could have more movement and still be intimate and expressive at the same time. I want to take the second interlude as well. There's two of them. There's one between the first chorus and the second verse, and there's one between the second chorus and the last chorus. We're going to take that second interlude, extend it to be about 16 bars long, and turn it into a bridge. And in that bridge, we're going to write from a hindsight is 2020 sort of perspective, looking back on the relationship. And it's going to change the overall lift and feeling of the song, sure, but I want to see how it sounds. I think it could be really interesting to see. So what do you say? We call that good for today. You jump down in the comments if you want. Tap that subscribe or the like button. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.